one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open.
Don't worry about that.
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical, but the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties.
That does sound like a tricky situation.
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses. There are only a few days left until the performance.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Trap? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon. Paimon approves! Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two!
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals.
I see. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. That's the thing. All our sets and props are very crude. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently.
Disband?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So nobody wants things to just... Yeah, the show just won't be the same without her.
Got it. We have a clear... What if we sponsored the show?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress... We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! She's really good at performing and she...
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her! You're...
Nope. But...
You're not wrong there. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. Well, yes. Fair enough. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested.
No point in stressing about that. And besides, things are different now.
Thank you for your help.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo! When did you get here?
It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina.
I can't believe they're seriously asking Lady Furina.
Try not to worry.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. Not at all.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time.
Ah, there it is.
Not yet, maybe, but... Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time.
Sorry, we're sorry. Yeah, exactly. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help?
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious.
Oh? Well, so tell me, what specifically makes this matter so... I see. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. But given the present circumstance...
How come?
True. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. Of course, that can't be undone now, but at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, so I'm not going to perform.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships, since I'm just an ordinary person now. True, but I mean, could you even blame them?
Well,
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh.
it's all right, Furina. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now.
Toodaloo to you too.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now?
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now?
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her.
I see. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission,
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. This is the last chance we have, though. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it?
Yes, I'm completely confident. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right.
all's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming. Hello, one and all.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position, and all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack.
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you...
We all want to believe that, but everything's been going downhill.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. But still...
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. People loved our performances back then.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here.
For...
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member, but only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though.
I don't need any compensation. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me?
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances. All right, follow me. Huh? Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. You bet, that...
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, please don't mention him.
So, you were saying the Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it.
Wait, but if it's not finished...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form. She longed to live just like any other human. But one day, her true identity was exposed.
So far, so good. A classic tale.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, but then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance.
Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises.
Oh, stop. suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed.
Makes sense. He went back to Poisson a few days ago.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So allons-y. To Poisson!
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me.
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now.
Nice try.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but...
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo?
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process.
I'm...
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. But for now, at least.
It's okay. These things take time, which brings me to why I'm here. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see.
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. how about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll, and here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but as I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. They thought their god would protect them. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came.
You shouldn't look at it like that.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. Fortunately, we were able to avoid. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, but on some level, freedom also means no longer being me.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Reward? I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I do. At least the choice is in my hand. All right, it's about time to head back.
Sure. Okay,
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat?
Come on. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like... We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rasula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right?
Me?
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah, I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicine. It was like that until the director found me one day. She took me under her wing.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. I was a lost child too when she found me. The other kids were always picking fights with me. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. so I ran away. Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here.
Furina? The Furina?
Please, the honor is all mine.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love.
There's actually something else that bothers. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found.
The director was the kindest soul in the world.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen?
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing.
Villemont?
Yeah.
Grief? Guilt, more like, because... Well, speaking of the play being true to life,
What?
it's time to be upfront with you all. I did tell her how I felt once. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come. So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aureli.
We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on
Well, if that's where we're at.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. Funny you should ask, though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Ad Ast. Thank you for
This is tough going.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. Wait.
We're just curious, that's all.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium.
Precisely. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand.
C'est la vie, indeed.
Aw, too bad.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Cool it!
You're in for a little shock.
No one escapes my sight.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
Dodge this! Oh, so sorry. Water jet! Yeah! 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 Freeze!
Let it rain.
Come a little closer.
Get it.
Water jet! Bombs away!
You're in for a little shock.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Go, Barret Bunny.
Water jet!
Come a little closer.
No one escapes my sight.
Go!
Bravo! Good show. You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Vilma!
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us.
Vilma, unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame, but now I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing. Anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. It seemed like a win-win. The drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink paddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. But things only got worse from there. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy—
Hey, don't—
What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. How could you be?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him!
Stay calm. How can And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show!
All I can say is I'm sorry. I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life.
Get out of my sight!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long. Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of it. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters, to shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was.
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So,
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself.
what do you mean?
The Traveler is right. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feeling.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind.
Hey! It's full of script lines!
Let me take a look. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's action. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Isn't that the most important line in the...
Because I am an...
Oh!
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. Let's go.
She deserves a hero's farewell.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now.
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feeling.
But
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
don't underestimate my experience. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role. And aren't human emotions love, hate, regret, and hope? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina.
Then, let's not delay things any longer.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But that...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well,
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay.
That place?
Whoa, wait.
No.
What are you afraid of?
No.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on, we'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette.
First Miss Farina, now the opera epiclese? If only the director was still with us.
Hey, come on.
Yeah...
during the final scene...
Best of luck.
Look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
What?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? Nor do I think it is any great shame. This experience is a case in point. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious.
I see. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales.
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome. Many people were once enthralled by Lady Furina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day...
Good news, everyone! It's done. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, we've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together, and
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation?
Communication is vital to any good performance.
It's amazing.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have.
Hey, Loic, get over here!
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her.
This guy could be useful.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid!
everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to...
What?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself?
I'm sorry.
You...
Miss Furina?
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done.
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest.
Thank you, Miss Furina.
Never mind. No one likes regrets. Myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart, despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now. Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name.
I don't know. Maybe it's...
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight. It's too bad. Still, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back?
All right, calm down, don't be mad. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it just...
It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy...
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly...
Oh... I've got no idea what happened there. I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy?
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication.
How did the performance go?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic!
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end.
No, don't worry about it. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance.
Well, I've had bad luck ever since I was born.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we?
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the...
No.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe after watching Miss Furina's performance.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss Furina?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. Maybe Nervilette was right. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, but from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director Aurélie as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true call. The more you get out into the world, the...
If a vision is a gift from the god, then I should do my best to honor it.
I'm just finishing packing up. Thanks to all your help, this show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all,
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a and now that the gods have given me their blessing, is that how humans feel about it as well?
Now that the buzz is worn off,
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me,